Meowdy marketing moguls, welcome to MEOWKET Mayhem. I'm Zach, your resident catboy consultant. This is the best, worst, and weirdest of marketing news. Let's go. Are we ready? Aye, aye, Captain! Oh! I have something to tell you. I don't know if you're gonna like what I have to tell you, though. You're poor! You're literally poor! I actually have two things to tell you. The second... The second thing I need to tell you is that this was the original picture I took, and when I asked Photoshop to fill in the image so that it was like a full-sized image, for some reason this was the first option it gave me with these like two chud children. I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck this is about. I really like him. I almost considered using this as my picture and having you guys just do your own thing, but that's besides the point. You guys are poor, and that's not even your fault. I want you guys to understand that I don't want you to feel bad about that. As it stands, just outright, homes have become largely unaffordable. If we look at this chart, we see that the income needed to buy a house versus the household income is fucking unbelievable. You don't make enough to be able to afford anything, and rent is unaffordable. And might I add, this isn't the only problem that people our generation are dealing with. We have to consult the fact that climate change is getting increasingly bad for us. And we're concerned about whether or not we'll even have a planet that we're capable of inhabiting. And also, we have hate speech fucking everywhere. Everywhere. Fuck your atheist, gay race communism. That's the bishop. That's what it forever will be. And that's not even to mention the fact that we recently went through a global pandemic that fucked the economy in like a major way. And so when you, a person who works at McDonald's for $7.25 an hour, is contemplating all of the things that are currently making them very stressed about their situation, it's kind of understandable why you'd be like, I need a little treat. I need a little treat. You find yourself in a situation where you're like, I just need a little treat. Like, this has become a thing. People call it little treat culture. And this comes from this article. There was a quote that goes, we're of a generation that's coming to terms with the fact that nothing, the ability to buy your own homes, the promise of being paid a livable wage, a habitable planet, is guaranteed to us the way it was for our parents' generation. California is burning to the ground. Social Security is going to run out of money before we're even eligible. Housing and healthcare and education are all getting more and more expensive. I'm not kidding when I say that this fucking article had me crashing out in the Boston Public Library, and now I am earnestly considering living in the Philippines for a year just to see if I can afford myself there. This stream is my little treat. You're my little treat, Fluffy. The world is fucking scary right now. And so there is a large influx of people on social media who are saying shit like this.
If you're not ending your day with a little snack, you know, a little treat, little sweetie on the tonguey wums, what are you doing? You know you deserve a little tiny insect-sized little treat. Little treaty pie on the lippy lips. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, man. It's important that you come home at the end of the day and put your little feeties around a hot mug of Cokie Coke and tuck that down.
Don't ever...
Do not deprive yourself of that. Do not deprive yourself. A little sucky suck on warm milky. Oh, right before bed, tuck me in. You know it'll make you feel better.
It will make you feel better. True. True. Nothing will make me feel better if not a little Cokie Coke that I tuck down. But everybody's talking about this. Social media is all like this shit. Everybody's speaking this way. Everybody's looking for some sort of confirmation that what they're doing is okay. And nobody feels like they are. So what constitutes a treat? Well, it could be the truly delicious, and this is something that I genuinely believe, chocolate cheesecake that just came out. I love this shit. If you haven't tried it yet, not to be a little whore, but fuck, man. What I wouldn't do for one right now. I stole one that my roommate bought, and I still need to go to the store and buy a replacement for him. Zach, you're already gay. Sucking a dick isn't that crazy. It's a little crazy. For an ice cream, I think that's a bit much. It could be something like this, or it could be something that's tangible. It doesn't have to be food. It could be like a potted plant. It could even be, let's just say, I don't know, a vintage Garfield Tyco cat telephone. It could be. Like, look, Pog, a little treat for myself. I deserve it. When's the last time I bought something for myself? Now, this is on the expensive side of, like, as treats go, right? But that said, This is something that's known as the lipstick effect. And this is a term that was coined in 1998 by sociology professor Juliet Shore. I think that's pronouncing that right. And it's a theory that people buy cheaper and smaller luxuries in economic downturn instead of the like typical big ticket items. But people are going in droves. This is a very recent article, January 2025. There was 11.8 million and 9.8 million posts about little treat culture and small treat culture respectively, as everybody looks for like validation on the fact that, you know, I'm doing the right thing. I'm okay. I'm doing something that makes sense for the world. Like, look, I'm not going to be able to buy a house anyhow. Can somebody tell me that just buying a treat isn't going to kill me? I need something to tell me that I'm okay because I'm already stressed out and I'm not going to be able to afford anything in the first place, right? So look, little treat. I'm dissociating from reality with playlists and little treats. Okay, sure. I grabbed a little treat because I completed one item from my to-do list today. This rhetoric is all fucking over the place. And so what ends up happening is marketers end up trying to take note of this. Because they're like, okay, so they want a little treat. How can I capitalize on the little treat? They want little treats? We can give them little treats. We can give them little treats. We can give them treats. So they do what they always do. These little fuckers want little treats. And that's Dr. Business. So you're going to disagree with Dr. Business? These little fuckers want treats. So here's an example. I'm actually going to look up how this is pronounced first.
Glossier. Glossier.
I had to look up Glossier. This is the brand Glossier. Glossier released a line called Black Cherry, the Black Cherry collection, which has a black cherry balm and a lip line, and they have a cloud paint and a #1 pencil. All these things that you could buy for your goddamn face. You can apply it on your ass. That is something you're allowed to do. I wouldn't recommend it. Can I apply it on my dick? Yes, you can apply it on your dick. You can apply it anywhere you want. Now it's like, okay, whatever. Glossier's chief marketing officer said that this is one of their best performing posts on the entirety of the website ever. And the collection also exceeding sales expectations by over 115% in the 2-week window following its launch. Now, sure, you might be like, this could be anything. This could be anything that causes that. No. The choice to make it about something that's like food, that's like a small little snack thing is very intentional. Like if you were unsure, like maybe that was just a fluke, whatever. No, they ended up releasing a like little locket that you could buy that was in the same like vein. Sold out in 4 hours. Fashion brand. You know what? Just sure, let's make a lock. Immediately out the fucking door. Buy the product. We don't care. So they ended up going ahead and making 2 other versions of it. They have an espresso, and they have a biscotti version as well. That's besides the point. If Barona were here, he'd fucking cum his pants. Dove released a crumble line. The crumble collection have exceeded Dove's forecast by more than 50%. It has driven 3 times more sales than any previous product launch from Dove. Any fucking product launch. That is not a fucking accident. There are a number of companies doing this. Rode is also doing it. They are also a fashion company using imagery of like food and snacks and a little fucking treat. And again, this is working. Do I know where the fuck this shit is going to go? Absolutely not. But I would encourage you to keep your eyes peeled. Start noticing that the brands that you care about are starting to use shit like food as their imagery, even if they aren't a fucking food brand, because that shit is selling. Further to my point, let's talk about Darden. You guys don't know Darden right now, and now you do. They're the people who own Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse, and Red Lobster, which, rest in peace. We pay respects to Red Lobster. When consumers are scared about the economy, that usually makes non-essential spending businesses a little bit sad. It does not make them very happy because people are not looking to spend money when they're not confident in their dollar. But you're still hungry. So, same-store sales, the expected growth, according to the company, was they were expecting to grow by 1.7%. Instead, what they actually grew was 0.7%. Now that doesn't sound very good. They were supposed to grow by a whole percentage point more, and they just didn't do that. But what investors are actually seeing here is, holy fuck, you grew at all? What? People are not confident in their dollar. How the fuck are they spending any money at all? They're going Poggies mode. And then on top of that, the company had 6.2% increase in total revenue. Now, this is largely because they acquired the Tex-Mex chain Chewy's for $605 million, which is doing very well. But, like, that's still being very well reflected by them being 15 cents away from the best that the company has been sitting at for the past calendar year. Now, there's two ways to look at this. You could either worry about inflation or you can worry about consumer confidence. If you're unclear, consumer confidence is dictating whether a person feels like buying at all. If they're worried about whether they'll be able to afford their bills on a particular month, they're not going to be using that same dollar to buy something like a restaurant, might be one outlook. So consumer confidence, we're not going to be buying luxuries, we're not going to be buying exceptional goods. Or you could choose to be like, okay, inflation. Will people be able to continue to make a wage that allows them to buy things at our store? And as you've noticed, potentially, the eyeballs are looking at the inflation version. Because if the inflation comes down and the essential goods like groceries, gas, and housing cost less, people have more money for things like endless pasta and T-bone steaks. These were two stories from this week's MEOWKET Mayhem. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, do all of the YouTube things that you've been trained to do, for a lack of a better word. I appreciate you being here. It's my goal to keep on making these as well as I can and as entertaining as I can. So if there were things that you liked about it, leave it in the comments. And if there's a thing that you hated about it, tell me and it'll hurt my feelings and I'll think about it for a couple of days. All right. If you want to be here for the next time, potentially be in the next video, be here Monday, 1 p.m. EST at twitch.tv/movely. All right. See ya.